The most positive sale I've had in probably 12 months, where everything was tick, 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 tick. Let's talk about the tail of the sale, but it did have a cross. Stay tuned.
In your new brand spanking new Oriental tie. Hold that up for the viewers. If that's not sexy, I don't know what is.
You know what's not sexy? I bought it on Amazon.
Everyone's buying stuff from Amazon these days. It's cheap, it's reliable, they deliver the next day. What more is there to ask for?
Well, I'm 195 6 centimeters, and getting a tie that's long enough is hard to find in a shop. So I took my battle to online, and I got it. And this is long, so it doesn't have a
Looking smart, looking sharp.
Thanks for coming.
The deal maker tie.
The deal maker. How are you, Xanthany? Miss BORULA, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for doing. This is your idea this morning to do tailor the sale, and this was a cool sale in Beacon Hill. So the address for Oconnors in Beacon Hill, 400 under 500 meter square block, like 480 ish.
Yep.
Corner position, views out towards Manly, out towards the Bondi-ish. They were really nice views. Hey.
Yeah.
Auction property that had 50 groups, which was almost 150 buyers through in the first weekend. 44 on the Saturday and like 17 on the Sunday. It was huge.
Yeah, massive numbers. It was just a really, really good campaign. It was a property that came on really quickly, and it attracted so much attention so quickly. And throughout the duration of the 4-week campaign as well, there were just consistent numbers week in, week out in terms of people actually viewing the property and the inquiries coming through as well.
Huge numbers. And then a couple of people sort of making offers. So 189 was the guide. People quite positive about that. People were positive about the views. They were positive about the aspect. It was nice and bright. People were a little bit funny about the bedroom configuration, because all bedrooms 2, 3, 4, and 5 weren't the best. So the top 2 bedrooms were a little bit on the smaller side. The bottom 2 bedrooms downstairs were people complaining a little bit about the ceiling height and the natural light. So we were saying 5 bedroom, but people would have rather like a big 3 bedroom was the feedback. Then the backyard was the feedback as well. They needed a little bit more. But the positives.
Look, as soon as you walked into the home, it was just a feel-good family home. I don't get that feeling with every single property that I walk in, where you just walk in and you feel comfortable, it's lived in, it's homely. You could definitely tell that the vendor was elderly, but it just had that vibe about it that was warm and inviting.
It was a happy home. The sellers were so positive. They were such beautiful people, and every call was yippee-yi-yay, let's go. We had the auction and it didn't sell, which was a real big surprise, a real big downer in a way, because it was like, how can you have that many people through an auction campaign, open 3 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, lots of people saying, yep, we like it, building inspection, 2 building inspections, couple of offers, and it's like, what's happening here?
It kind of just took the wind out of your sails a little bit, because we were just flying so high for that marketing campaign, and like I mentioned, the inquiries coming through, and on the day of the auction, there were so many people there as well. There were so many people squished into that home, and it's a big home, even sprawling out onto the lawn. For it to fall flat and be passed in was a little bit disappointing. to be perfectly honest.
Now, Bulldog Lisa Novak said, let's book another open house in on the day.
Yep.
So the auction was at 10:45.
Yep.
By 11:15 it was passed in. Everyone left. A couple of buyers were like, we really like this, we want to buy this. Then we booked an on the spot open at 1 o'clock for 15 minutes. So on the same day the auction passing in, we booked in another open on Sunday, and we booked in another open on the same day for 15 minutes. Then we sent an SMS out to 150 buyers, which had been through over the campaign, through that campaign, saying, guys, it didn't sell, but we are open today and tomorrow if you want to come and have another look. Now, here's the cool bit. We were like, you know what, we had the team supporting us, so we went and with the opens that we had programmed were done. I didn't have any opens programmed anyway, but Lisa did. She had that covered, so she said, I'll stay here.
Yep.
Anyway, people came and went. It was the weirdest thing because, yes, we've sold the property at auction. If you just tuned in, 4 O'Connors sold the property at auction. Went to sell it at auction, didn't sell. After the auction, we had a snap open house. Now, that open house was booked in at 1. We're standing there at 10:30. 10:45. We had 2 to 3 groups there the whole time until 1:15. So people just were driving past and going, oh, there's agents in there, and walking in. Great story. One of the people that came past said, we saw it on your social media and we saw it didn't sell. We were really surprised. We haven't come through before, but we'd like to buy the property.
Yeah. Crazy. They haven't seen it. They just saw it on social, saw that it wasn't sold, and then just said, out of the blue, we'd like to buy it. Why not?
They saw the live auction on our social media, and they were like, yeah, we noticed that house. We never went through it, and that's actually a really good price. And let's go have a drive past. Drove past. We're standing there. Yeah. They come in. We start talking price.
Things escalated. They fell in love. Yep. Happy with the price, the product, the location.
Yep. And we made a baby.
It's a very quick baby. 1 week.
Real estate baby was made. So beautiful couple. They had their friends and family through. Interestingly enough, this couple had a offer accepted with me on another property, North Curl, for around 2.6 million. So it was a lot less in price. But what they shared with me was how their lending ratios had changed since they had that offer accepted. One, they were happy they never bought that other property because of what happened with interest rates. Yeah. 2, their serviceability changed as the months rolled on. They kept being able to lend less and less because the interest rates were going higher and higher.
Yeah. Very interesting. It was just
cool campaign.
Yeah, something that ticked every single box. Everything kind of just fell in line at the right time. And at the end of it all, no matter what's happened, we've got some very happy vendors and a very happy purchaser as well, who will make that home theirs for the next 30 to 40 years and create their own memories there, which is something really beautiful in and of itself.
And you know what? These guys that have bought it, they are the most beautiful little family. They are people that wear their heart on their shoulder, and I'm just like, it was the vendors, super positive people. The home, super positive. I don't know how you explain a positive home, but it just felt really good. And when you meet these buyers and you know these buyers, and you think, what lovely people in that, and you imagine them in that home, like, I am chuffed. I reckon they're going to add value. They've got a family member who's a builder. It's a beautiful home. It's a lovely aspect. Interesting enough, going to be rented out. They're going to stay in the property where they live. They're going to later on. The people in the neighbourhood are going to have some beautiful neighbours when these guys move in. It's a love story.
It's a love story. And I think that's something really good to take away, that selling a home can be a love story for both, if you're selling and the buyer. Just stay positive and just keep going along for the ride.
Yeah, if that's not a love story, real estate love story, what the hell is? It's very cool, and that's from the buyer side. Out of interest, from the seller side, they lived there for 40 years. The family brought up 4 boys. One's a buddy of mine, good guy, and she's going to, in her elderly age, going to go live in the same building as her brother. So it's an over 55s, close to her son, out of the area, and it's going to be looked after by her family. So it's a nice transition for her in her life after so many years. So a lot of emotions flaring in that time. I know it happened with my mum moving house and out of the family home and stuff like that, but it's a special time, but it's a deep time for families, I guess, when mum's emptying the nest.
It's so much more meaningful when it's an emotional sale. It's an emotional journey. There are just so many memories attached to that sale, and just helping the vendors and the purchasers through that as well is something quite beautiful.
It is. And good on them. Like, it's going to be a great house. So that's the tale of the sale for Oconnors, ladies and gentlemen. We've got more buyers. We've got a hell of a lot of buyers that came to that campaign, if everyone's considering selling.
Yes.
ZANTHANY, is there anything else you want to add before we go today?
I don't think so.
Elaine.
Hello,
Hey,
to
Jazz.
Barrett. Good morning.
Hello, the buddy.
Hello, buddy. Bonjour. En Paris.
Bonjour. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. It's just a beautiful campaign. Thanks for everyone for coming along that journey as well. If you're involved, even if you had an inquiry, something that ticked every single box possible.
Big time. How's your week been anyway? What do you do at Novak?
What am I doing today or any other day?
Yeah. Everything?
So I'll be doing everything, little bits of everything. This head wears several hats.
So what does your day look like today?
I'll be doing a lot of market appraisals. I'll be getting some socials out and about. I'll be putting this video that we're doing right now up online and sending it out. Maybe making some calls as well, getting on the phones. Would you like to buy or sell? No, hang up.
All things real estate. And is Wayne Hughes in the office?
He's not here yet. I'm kind of just hanging around waiting for him. He's not, no.
That's so not Wayne. Have a look around the corner, see if he's hiding.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. So Wayne Hughes is our business coach at Novak. He's been a business coach for 18 years with us. His company's name is Ultimate Performance, I think. Ultimate Real Estate Agent. It used to be Business Perception. And he comes in and coaches me from 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock every second Thursday. And he's not in?
He's not in. Wayno. Stop being such a Drano.
What a Drano, Wayno. He should be in. For a business coach, you should not be in on time. You should be in early. He's due in at 8.
Well, if you're not 10 minutes early, are you even on time? Speak of the traffic, Wayne, we have just given you the biggest welcoming reception ever. Now, everyone, give it up for Wayne Hughes. Here we go.
Wayne Hughes. Yes, there he is. There he is. What?
I've got something super special for you this morning. Mark, I don't know how many years ago this was. Many, many years ago, when Novak Agency was absolutely in its infancy, known as Novak Agency back there, there was an application put forward for the local community awards, and the whole agency went to the DYRSL that night for a huge prize giving evening. Not only did they pick up the best agency of the year, also the best local business of the year. Do you remember that night? Well, actually, you probably don't remember that night. But the point is, this was in my cupboard. I don't know whether you can't see it. It's a green. It's the lime green bow tie.
That's when we has to have green in our logo.
Yeah, absolutely. So the lime green bow tie, somebody reminded me about the other day. So there's a memento of the history of the Novak agency over the many successful years we've had in business.
I wonder if I take a
Shit.
photo
Hey,
of it, we'll be able to see that.
probably. Hey Wayne, oh no, it'll still be green. Hey Wayne, you're a business coach, and you've been coaching me personally for 18 years. What would you say would be my worst habit?
Your worst habit. As a businessman, you don't have very many habits actually, because you're across the detail and the top line. I think, I'm struggling to think of a worse habit.
Best habit.
Yeah, look, your best habit is the way you approach the strategy of the business, without doubt. Most agency principals get sucked down into the detail, and they're great salespeople and they get involved in that detail all the time. You can rise above the detail, and you do constantly have a look at what's going on. And another one of your great habits is that you'll try many alternate things. We had another blast from the past, the Novak flavored ice cream at the beachfront ice cream store, and took a lot of sampling to get the flavor right. But once we did, that ran for a whole season and donated proceeds to the surf club. Agencies or businesses in general typically don't do that sort of thing, and you just jump out. And we've tried a lot of crazy things over the years. I think maybe your worst habit is sometimes we just do things without necessarily doing exact planning on how they might pan out. But that's just a let's give it a go and see what happens kind of attitude.
Wayne Hughes is it Ultimate Agency?
ultimateagency.com.au is the where we're working, and it's evolved into that over many years, different now than it was 20 years ago. But definitely it's the agency place to support agencies now. But
where'd you kick ZANTHANY off to?
She's here doing the video of us in full flight.
I'm going to post this to my socials. Here I am. I can't be booted that easily.
What was your topic for today?
We were talking about Tale of the Sale. A Tale of the Sale, a beautiful family home in Beacon Hill, tightly held for 40 years, sold to another beautiful family to create their next generation of memories.
You learn much more by telling stories than you ever do by looking at facts and reading a series of this is what you should do. And I think that you watch a lot of YouTube videos particularly, and they say this is how you should do things, particularly people trying to give you business advice, and yet people remember stories all over the place. And even that one that you just mentioned there, without giving away people's details, when you put a few little personal aspects into the stories like that, others learn from it. And for people that are selling homes right now or buying homes, when you can relate it to a couple of success stories, and most of them are success stories, what you're doing is, because people are moving from one stage of their life to the next one, you're able to share a story about where they've gone from this point to that point. And the nuances of how they did it and what they did stick in your mind, but the story about the black cat or whatever it was are the ones that people relate back to as the memory hooks, if you like.
I think it's tapping into people's EQ.
Yep, the emotional side of you.
Yeah,
their emotional side, whereas IQ is just words on a piece of paper. So there's stories for you. Wayne, thank you very, very much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. See you.
Cheers to Wayne.
See you, legend. ZANTHANY, have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Let's tune
See
out.
you guys. See ya. Bye.